I'm Mare.
And this is CoCo&MareTV. Welcome back, you guys.
Yes. And we are back with a story time.
Yes, story time, honey. As we said in our previous video, I was going to tell y'all my labor and delivery story time. Let me tell you something that was very interesting.
Yeah.
As y'all know, this was my first baby.
I'm going to sit back and relax. I'm going to listen and observe.
And let me tell you something. So I look busting and disgusting, okay? It was 39, 40 weeks, 41. That's when I had her. So you better know. Don't judge me.
It was close to the end.
Honey, it was hot.
Mm-hmm.
It was uncomfortable. So when y'all see the videos, I don't want to hear nothing, okay?
No judgment.
Nothing.
We don't need your critique.
Exactly. When I did the midwife's brew, I actually, that day I did it. Did I do it on the 26th? I can't remember, but I said the dates in the videos. But one day was my due date.
Was it the day you sent me that video? Are you recording yourself in the kitchen?
Yeah, that's the day I tried it.
Let me see.
We're gonna see what the date was, but all I know is that I was trying to do it like one closer to my due date so that I would induce myself, because I wanted her to be born on my due date. And one reason too is because my due date was June 26th, and my grandmother, my Gammy, who had passed, her birthday was June 1st, and I really wanted my daughter to be born in June like my grandma. And so that thing was so heavy on my heart. I was like, I gotta get this baby out. I want her born in June like my grandma or whatever. But one thing that did happen, though, that was a blessing that the Lord was showing me as well, because even though she wasn't born in June, she was born July 1st, just like a first, just like my grandma. My grandma was June 1st, and now she's July 1st.
Okay,
so,
it was the 23rd of June. The
23rd of June is when I was first starting to try to induce my labor. Okay, I tried up until the day I think was my due date, because I was 1 centimeter dilated for like a week. Okay, and anybody who doesn't know, you can be 1 centimeter for a long time up until you do. Okay, don't get excited about it. Okay, because 1 minute you're 1 centimeter, and then you might be 1 centimeter up until they try to deliver you. But it is also different for everybody, because you can be 1 centimeter 1 minute, and then the next you're 10 and you're ready to deliver the baby. That did not happen for me, okay? Not at all. So I was 1 centimeter. I got checked. After I had did the brew, I was having contractions. And then the one weird thing with me too was that I was having contractions, but I wasn't knowing that I was having them, because I was just getting that tightness. I wasn't feeling like pain. Yeah, so I was like because like during my doctor's visits, they would put me on that like monitor thing to monitor her heart and the contractions, and they were like, "You're having contractions." I was like, "Oh, well, I didn't know. I just feel this tightness, but I'm just thinking it's just the baby feeling tight, moving around or whatever. It wasn't no room up in there." But that was contractions, and I didn't know. But the day after that I tried that brew, like I tried it again, I think. I don't remember what. Anyway, it was one of them days where I was actually having contractions that I was feeling, and I was like, oh yeah, this is it. I'm about to have this baby. No.
So you had contractions?
Yeah, I was having them. After I had did that brew, I was having contractions, but they were not doing nothing but hurting. They not a centimeter more came, honey.
Her up and had her up in there like, what is going on?
But she was not coming. Okay, and then so I did that. Then it was like past my due date. I was so disappointed. I was like, are you kidding me? I want this baby to come out. And then on top of that, it was 2 times my sisters had went to the beach. My parents had went to the beach, and I wanted to go to the beach. Excuse me. And like, you know, of course, social distance and not be, it was like, you know, be just out there or whatever. And then everybody was like, no, you can't go. You're too far along. What if the baby comes? I could have went to the beach. Because she won't go nowhere, honey. I could have went to the beach. Maybe if I would have went to the beach, she would have came.
Was this after past your due date?
Yeah. It was, no, it was like getting close to my due date. It wasn't even my due date yet. I could have went.
How many centimeters were you then?
1. Still just 1. That measly 1. So
Yeah.
So on June 30th, I got induced. That was a Tuesday night. I had to go in. Me and my mom went at 5:30. You can only have one person in the room, so I had my mom in there because for me, this is my first baby. This is me and my husband's first baby. I needed supports. I didn't know if he'd be able to make it through. I don't know if he would have had the stomach for it. I don't know, and it was not the time to try to figure it out.
Right.
Now, regularly, if we could have more people, of course, it would have been me and my husband. I wanted my aunt in there. I wanted my sister in there. You know, I want everybody in there. But because you can only have one person, I needed to be held down. Not saying that my baby won't go hold me down, but they might have been having to hold us both down, and we ain't had time for that. Okay.
Because you already know how men get in those situations.
Honey.
They can't. Some of them just
they don't got the stomach for it.
They
They just can't. They can't see you in pain. It's just too much, and all of it just be too much all the way around. So my mama was there. I was so grateful for that. It was a decision that both of us made. I think it was an excellent decision. So I get there. They didn't even really induce me until like around 10 something. I've been there since 5:30 something. They didn't give me they gave me like a medicine. They put something in me and then they put it in my mouth too. It was like 4 hours for it being in me, then 4 hours for it being in my mouth. But actually by the time they even started to induce me, I was already having contractions and stuff just being there. I guess just being in the hospital started making me like, oh, it's time to have a baby. Right. Because before they even did any type of inducing stuff, by the time they did it, I was already at 3 centimeters on my own. And so then they were like, because they were going to do this balloon thing. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that method.
Tell me that again, so
I don't know. I don't know what it's actually called, the medical term, but this is my first time ever hearing of it, and I looked it up. Look it up for yourself. It's weird. It's like a balloon thing. They put it in your vagina, and then they like fill it, I guess, with water or something, and it's like 2 balloon parts. One that's further in, one that's further out, and basically it's trying to make your cervix stretch. But it tries to stretch you to get to 3 centimeters or 4 centimeters. So because I was already there, I didn't have to do it, and I'm glad, because that just sounded very uncomfortable and like something I did not want to partake in.
But what did you say about how it affects the baby though?
That part don't do nothing to the baby.
But so that's not the same thing. You was telling me something about
different.
Okay, well I need to know that again.
Yeah, which part? What was I telling you?
When you was like, it was something that they was trying to help her come out of you, and you told them no because
the forceps in the vacuum. The forceps in the vacuum.
Like, what is that?
That's when they use forceps to like put on the baby's head to help pull it, and they'll use a vacuum to help pull the baby out. So yeah, I'm gonna get to that part too.
Yeah,
so
I need to know that.
Yeah, okay, it got very interesting. Let me tell y'all. So anyway, they did that part. They gave me that little medicine stuff or whatever. It helped. I got to 4 centimeters before they broke my water. After 4, I was having contractions and stuff. It was fine. This was one of the reasons why I didn't want to get induced, because I always heard that when you get induced, because they're making you contract and making you have the baby, like it's more intense than when you're doing it on your own. So those contractions and stuff I was having on my own was fine. I felt fine, whatever. Then they broke my water. After they broke my water, it was done deal. I was like, they broke my water and they gave me that Pitocin, and it was like,
multiplied.
do you hear me? I said, give me the epidural. We ain't gotta wait. They was like, however long, if you can take it. No, I don't want to take it. Give it to me, thanks. So they gave me the epidural. I was at 4 centimeters at this point. They gave me the epidural. I slept for like 2 hours, literally, maybe. Got a little bit of rest. I woke up because they ended up putting a catheter in me, because once you get the epidural, you can't really feel your legs and stuff. So they ended up putting a catheter in me, but that started feeling uncomfortable, and I started feeling contractions again. So I'm like, I got an epidural. Why do I feel the contractions?
But when they still give you the epidural, you still feel pressure though.
It wasn't pressure.
You was feeling
That's
pain.
what they kept saying. They were like,
okay.
"Are you feeling pressure?" I'm like, "I'm hurting. I feel
okay.
pain." Like, and so they were like, "Well, let's check you." So they checked me, and by the time they checked me, that little bit of time, I was already at 9 centimeters, and they were like, "Well, you don't have much further to go. We don't want to give you too much more epidural because you need to be able to feel the pressure when you're having the baby." I was like, "Okay, well, y'all gotta give me something because I feel pain. I don't feel pressure. I feel pain." So they were like, "Okay," they gave me a little more or whatever. I slept for maybe like an hour or 45 minutes, and then they were like, "Okay." I was like, "Yeah," but I was like, "I'm still feeling pain. Like, this is still hurting." And so they were like, "Well, you know what? It's time to push, so let's push." Let me tell y'all something.
This was so horrific. Like, she freaking scared me.
Girl, oh my gosh. I want to do a disclaimer though, because the nurses and the midwives that I had were the bomb. I had this black midwife. Her name was Nikki. She had locks. Beautiful black queen, honey. When I tell you she rode for me, her, Lisa, they rode for me. All of the women who ended up delivering my baby were women of color. Queens. Yes. I had a Hispanic lady, Miss Dr. Diaz. I had Nikki, Lisa. They came in there and they wrote it out for me, because when I tell you, it was getting painful, and it was at the point where I couldn't even get no more epidural. Like, at this point with your epidural, you don't feel your legs, it's numb. Yeah. I felt my legs, I felt everything. The epidural was gone. I was natural, baby, okay, at that point.
My poor friend.
Girl, like, Jesus. I had wanted to do it natural, but I wanted to do it natural if I was doing it on my own, not with this Pitocin, making it 1,000 times harder. Like, I did not want to do it like that, but I did. And they were like, "Okay, you gotta push. I started pushing at like 6 something. Okay, at 6 something, around 7 o'clock, my doctor and one of the midwives had to leave. Their shift was over, so I had been pushing since 6 something. At 7, they're leaving. I'm like, okay, they were like, and then they were psyching me out, because from when I went to the doctor, they were telling me at my last appointment where they did her weight, they were saying she was like 6 pounds 13 ounces. I'm at the hospital, they're feeling my stomach like, "This is a big baby. This baby gotta be 8 or 9 pounds." I'm like, oh no.
Adding on to the
no
stress.
Do you hear me? I think that thought alone, that I could be pushing out a 9-pound baby, was like,
just freaked you out.
Yes, because I've always said, if my baby is more than 8 pounds, y'all need to just give me the C-section. I don't want to push no 8-pound baby out my cootie. Okay? Salute the 9-pound baby, out my cootie, or
this
more.
One right here, she won't buy that life.
I was not trying to do that, honey. So at this point, I'm pushing. The epidural is gone. I don't just feel pressure, I feel pain. And then my body was like pushing on its own, because it was feeling the contractions, it was pushing on its own. And they were telling me like, don't push, because at that point it was